Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to try out the Dunhill Blue Flint in another of these aluminum block petrol lighters. This one is marked Crown Lighter Corporation, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Very substantial lighter, very thick. I would say at least 50% again as thick as most roller lighters. Has a nice thick fluted roller on it. And as we strike it there, it just strikes right up. It has been very slow to ignite here in the workshop over the last week or so. We've fueled it a few times. Struck it many times. And so far in this video it is 2 for 2. I have wondered whether the wick might need to be replaced. I would rather not replace the wick in all these old aluminum block lighters because the folks that collect those might prefer to have the old wick in them. I am doing the best I can to take the wicks that I pull out of the ones that I have replaced and bag those wicks up so that I will include them with the lighter, the old wick and wadding, when I sell them. So far we are 2 for 2. Now I guess we are about 3 for 5. So you can at least see that it does miss. And just for fun, let's pull this Flint spring screw. It's kind of hard to get a hold of some of these inset screws. But you definitely don't want to leave that just hanging out there to where it can go flying across the room. That one, the spring fits inside the end of the screw. Dump our flint out there and drop this used Dunhill Blue Flint in it. Down the tube. Flint spring and screw. Give that a turn or two to make sure we have it grooved correctly. I think we got it grooved in the right direction now, so we'll tighten that on down. So the lighter was striking and igniting a little bit better than it had before, just at the outset of this video, with the old generic eBay Flint in it. And I am certain that the Dunhill Blue create a superior spark. I don't know that a superior spark always results in a better ignition, but I would think that in general, the bigger a shower of sparks you can create to rain down on that wick, which is full of the fumes of the fuel that the wick has brought up through that tank, then it's going to ignite better the more sparks that are present. I don't have any previous experience with this Crown lighter. I'm sure that I've seen them before in listings, but had never had one in my hands before. And it's a really neat lighter. It's got a roller bearing there on the bottom side of that snuffer, which you can see from the front and the back. May contribute to the smoothness by which that snuffer raises and lowers. Very substantial fuel screw with an integrated standard screwdriver by which you can manipulate the Flint spring screw. But this is not necessarily a show and tell video. This is more a show and tell of if that Dunhill blue Flint makes a difference. And so far, I believe since we put the Dunhill blue Flint in it, it has ignited every time that we have struck it. We'll give it a couple more opportunities here just to see. I think we were 3 of 5, something in that neighborhood with the old Flint. And so far it's 3 or 4 times that we've struck it with the Dunhill blue in it, and it has ignited. I know there are people who collect lighters from their particular part of the country, their backyard, the place they grew up, the place they live, different locations. I know for a fact that in the Zippo Addicts and other Zippo Facebook lighter groups, there are a couple of guys that collect lighters that were made, or I should say Zippos, that not were made in Wisconsin, but feature advertising for Wisconsin, things like that. I don't know if there's anybody out there who collects aluminum block Petrol lighters that were made in Wisconsin. But if that is your cup of tea and you're watching this video, then you should get on over there to the dependableflame.com/current eBay listings page, where we facilitate all our eBay listings. When you click through, well, there's 2 strikes. A little disappointing for it to take 6 strikes there for that to finally ignite on that time. It wasn't quite all the way tightened down. It is now. I've been of the belief for quite some time that most roller lighters were not intended to be lit straight up and down, although that lit just fine like that. I think most of them are intended to be held by a right-handed user and held sort of sideways at an angle. I think in general, the path that the sparks take are more suited to that position for it to light for most Petrol roller lighters, but that is just a theory of mine. I'm not stating it as a fact. And after this particular lighter taking off like gangbusters once we put that Dunhill blue Flint in it, and actually lighting pretty good off the regular red eBay Flint before we even put the Dunhill blue in it, now it is coming back to earth a little bit and looking like it might still be a bit of a project. Until next time.